perfect, yeah, I know that now. When it came crashing down, all I know is that I need you around. When it comes crashing down, all I need is not to feel so much alone. So step inside my zone, baby, you can give me everything I want, everything I want. You are all I need now. It's crazy, but it's true. You're all I need.
This could quite easily be the most picturesque place I've ever had breakfast. Hello one and all, welcome to Seen Through Glass, welcome to Mallorca, Spain, and welcome to the Cap Formentor, Cap De Formentor. I've wanted to drive this road for years. It was well worth the 5:45 start this morning, but I have to say I am now very hungry and quite cold. So you find me in the car, opening up the picnic box that the hotel prepared for me this morning. So we've got some water, some bananas, and some sandwiches. I'm going to tuck into those, and then we're going to start up this BMW M850i, which you may not have seen, was in yesterday's vlog, and drive this road all over again. What a morning! Now, a few weeks ago, whilst I was in Portugal, I made a video about great driving roads, and in that video I said it's often best to ignore sort of internet's advice, or any roads that are called greatest driving roads of the world often aren't. However, today I'm ignoring my own advice because this place is just insane. They're just unloading actually looks like a new Cupra concept. I think it's actually called the Formentor. Anyway, so that's some kind of Seat Cupra. Anyone who's interested, sorry, there's the concept. That's the only shot I'm giving you of it. If I was Shmi, I'd probably be doing a whole 30-minute walk around of that car, but I don't know what it is, so that's all you're getting. I'm going to be enjoying this M850i much more. But yes, this road now, it's 10 to 8, so it's 7:50 in the morning. I woke up at 5:45 to get here, and this road is already packed. I mean, it's ridiculous. All the advice was get here as early as you can, because before you know it, you'll be amidst cyclists and coaches and other tourists. And I kind of thought, well, if I get there for sunrise, I should be all right. But no. Not only has the road been absolutely dominated by goats, it's now being dominated by concept cars and other tourists. But look at this. I mean, where else in the world do you get these kind of views? On a little tiny piece of tarmac trickling across these mountains and cliffs. And I have to say, the reason I chose this road, the Cap De Formentor road, rather than the M쪼ʟʟᴏᴏᴜ, you know me and my Spanish. Basically, there are two roads here in Mallorca made by the same guy, Antonio. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I mean, it's early. I'm going to put his name on screen and just blame the fact that I've only had one shot of espresso this morning. But he made two incredible roads on this island. This one and another one which is kind of a little bit more inland called M쪼ʟʟᴏᴜ. Now that one, whilst it does look amazing, reminds me a little bit of roads you can find in the Swiss Alps. It's a lot of switchbacks, stunning smooth tarmac carving through mountains. This road, I think you'd struggle to find anywhere else, because not only is there a stunning lighthouse at the end, but just these views, these cliffs, the sea, the colour, everything about it is incredible. And I'm going to try and enjoy it whilst it's quiet for as much as possible. I'm not certain I'm in the right car to really enjoy it, because it's incredibly tight and narrow, and this M850i is big. I underestimated how big it would feel, especially on a road like this, but we're going to get more into this car once I've enjoyed some of this road a little bit more, so bear with me. White snow, red sky. just keep pulling over. I just keep pulling over for photos and B-roll, and just every corner I go around is breathtaking. Anyway, let's talk about this car, because as I kind of hinted at in yesterday's video, any of you that might have seen that, for some reason, unexplainable reason, I've been really excited about this car ever since it was launched, because let's face it, I haven't always had the best relationship with BMWs on this channel, but in recent years, or maybe just even in the last year, something's changed, something's happened. I've started to get a bit excited about BMWs. I have to admit, I've been around a few more cars than I had previously, so I've experienced more BMWs, and the modern range, they're just starting to do, I think, some really exciting things. The design language is starting to be exciting, and most importantly, they're finally working on their interiors. Because that was my sort of point for so long, was that I just felt like BMW were just being lazy about their interiors. They sort of knew what worked and they thought, well, why change it? Well, change it because you need to. It just was feeling dated. But cars like this, and even the new X6 and the X4, and then you've got the X7, and these are all the X cars, but so many cars are just starting to really just look good. And I've always been a fan of the big GT car. I think you guys know that. Ever since the F-Type, I've just loved the concept of a big front-engine GT car. And whilst this is a sort of size and class up, we're competing with S-Class Coupe, Bentley Continental, it still has the sort of basic ingredients that I like. So we are talking about 4.4 litre V8, 530 odd horsepower, 0 to 60, 3.7 seconds. It's the four-wheel drive, the X-Drive setup. This is not the full-blooded M8 that will be coming. This is the M850i, a bit weird, similar to the M135i. So it's not a full M car, but it's as close as you can kind of get. Okay, I know, here we go. For Audi people, it's like an S5 and an RS5. Does that make sense? And for Merc, it's like, I don't know my works well enough. Oh, like the A35 rather than the A45. So it's kind of half-blooded M car. So it's not maybe as quick as an S63 or a Bentley Continental, but it still gets up and goes. But it feels big. I think it weighs nearly 2 tons. 1,800 kilos. Is that nearly 2 tons? I think so. But yes, it feels heavy, and so on a road like this, where you kind of want to start throwing things around, it's not the most nimble car. This is a long-distance, comfy GT car, but I think it's absolutely stunning, and it's a very nice place to be. The steering is alarmingly light for a BMW. One thing which I've always liked about BMWs was the weighted steering, and whilst when you move from comfort to sport, it definitely does weight up, it's still awkwardly light. I want a bit more feel through the steering wheel, especially once I start pushing on. The brakes are pretty good. It's weird because you pick up speed. Sorry, I didn't really know what gear I was in for a second. You pick up speed alarmingly quick. Like, you don't always realise how fast you're going because you're on this sort of big, comfy, quite quiet barge. You're often going faster than you know, and so I've approached a lot of roundabouts being like, oh wow, I really need to slow down. And the brakes are good, but you sort of, you just watch out for that, any would-be 850i owners. What else do I have to say? The sound is a bit weird. They've integrated all these awful pops and bangs that every single manufacturer is doing now, which is just totally synthetic, I think, and kind of unneeded and unnatural, and I don't really enjoy it. The actual sound from the V8, if you like your BMW turboed V8s, then you're going to like this one, but it's not really my scene. And yeah, I mean, okay, so maybe it's not lived up to every expectation I had of it, but I do really like it. I really like it. I've just seen somewhere else to pull over and get some more shots of it, so let's do that.
You sneak out, keep fighting. I'm willing to take a chance, break free. The dog's biting, dressed up for the final dance.
Now, along the Cap De Formentor road, there's a very famous sort of lookout point, or a watchtower called the Albert Mallorca. Usually all the tourist buses and tourists stop down there on the main road at this kind of viewing point, which is also where a statue to the road's creator lies. However, with a tip from the lovely concierge at our hotel, Pep, that's his name, he said, look, don't stop there, look for the little tiny road that's winding its way up the mountain to the watchtower, and you get a much better view. Enjoy your breakfast, mate. If you have any left over, let me know. I wonder how high we are. Oh, I wish they have a Starbucks up here. Ah, yes, Mallorca. This is just ridiculous. It kind of reminds me of Tenerife when we went for the McLaren 570 GT launch. So, but I did that sunrise drive. I mean, as Stradman says, views on views on views. And look, down there, I don't know if you can see, that is the road that I was driving. You can see the main tourist car park. And then the 850i should be down there somewhere unless someone's nicked it.
My life wasn't perfect, yeah, I know that now. When it came crashing down, all I know is that I need you around. When it comes crashing down, all I need is not to feel so much alone. So step inside my zone, baby, you can give me everything I want. Everything I want. You are all I need now. It's crazy, but it's true. You're all I need.
A few minutes since we came down off that mountain or very large hill, and we found a very, very nice port in Formentor town, I believe, and I think this is probably where you're going to find most M850i owners, if I'm really honest, because whilst that car does have an M badge, fundamentally it's not an actual M car. I don't think it's a big luxurious cruiser for the gentleman and lady driver. You would expect to find it lurking by yachts or at a golf club or at a very fancy restaurant, and so I think probably the car that I actually really want to test drive is the M8 when it eventually comes out, because whilst the 850i looks incredible and is a BMW that I'm actually loving, like who thought that was going to happen, it's not quite there in terms of a car that I would ever consider actually buying. Anyway, as you can see, that's a beautiful breakfast spot right behind me, so I'm going to head in there, finally have some coffee, wake myself up, and then get on with my day. It's 10:30 and what an incredible morning we've had. The bowels of the ship. What are we going to... Oh, hello. Bedroom number 1. Bunk beds. Kind of cute, I suppose, with an ensuite. No, what is that?